in the book of John, chapter 11, yes, about Jesus and most of his visit, which used to be pass by Bethany. Why pass by Bethany? If you look to my hand, he's climbing up to Bethany, Beit Faj, Mount of Olives, descending down to Gethsemane, Kidron Valley, climbing up to the Temple Mount. It's coming like this way. Okay? Over here, he met with Lazarus, Martha, Maria, and he used to spend time with them because the Bible tells us it is beyond Mount of Olives. Mount of Olives just above us, this way. As we climb from here like 5-7 minutes. By the way, if you took your way out where you have been in the shopping and looked up that way, you see the wall which I showed you on the bus. The bus now separates between us, Bethany, and the Mount of Olives and Gethsemane. What we have here, the story says Jesus came to Bethany, and there was a reason to come to Bethany because he knew that his friend is sick. But Jesus, he came to Bethany not when he was sick and not when he died. He came after.
He's been buried.
By how many days?
4 days.
4 days. Jesus, he could reach here like on the first day because he was in Jericho. From Jericho here it's like a 2-day journey. But Jesus, he was in purpose want to get here after Lazarus' death by 4 days. Remember what the Bible say? Lazarus' body was
Buried already for 4 days.
it was buried for 4 days and it was dedicated. Okay? What that means? That his body start to be decayed, smelly. That means that nothing in his body is working. And Jesus came here because he already done 2 other miracles like this, raised people from death, and people, they give a reason for this resurrection of these 2 guys, for the widow son and for the centurions, that according to the Jewish tradition, they believe that when you die, your soul with you. First few days. By the 3rd day, your soul is going back to heaven. That means there is no chance to go back again to life. By the 4th day, your body starts to be completely decomposed. As Jesus coming here to tell them, even if you say that on the first day, because the soul is with the body, or by the 3rd day when the soul around the body, you can do it as a priest, as a rabbi, as anyone. You can pray and you can do it. But I will tell you that I'm coming on the 3rd day, and you and him, you can't do it. The only one who can tell Lazarus, come out, after 4 days, is only God. For a reason. Because what Jesus done to add to Lazarus, it's exactly to create a new person. It's not just like to tell Lazarus like when he lay just next to you, but when he called Lazarus, there is somebody working inside. There is somebody working inside, just moving, and they are creating this guy that his heart, his lens, his brain, his blood start running in his body. That means when Jesus called Lazarus, Jesus, he make a new Lazarus. And that's, nobody can do it unless God with him. And that's what tell us in Nicodemus. We see that you do things which nobody can do it unless God with him. Remember the book of John? And Jesus told him, unless you be born again. You remember the story?
Yeah, chapter
As
3.
here, when Jesus called Lazarus, that's mean Lazarus, he's a new one. He is a new creator. Like when God, he built Adam and he just give his breath and he make him a new human being. This is what happened here with Lazarus. Everything in his body, a new heart, a new lens, a new brain, a new kidney, new everything is from the beginning. As what's happened in Lazarus in Bethany was it's over what a human being can do it. As following this, we have a Byzantine church which was a combination between the house and the tomb. And you can see some niches. See the niches? Where they used to lay the body inside. You see that one? Over there. That's mean there was an access from here, my friends. You see the door here, there's a door there. All this, because this building and this building used to be one. You understand? As one day, 1700 years back, the Byzantine, they built the church over the house of Lazarus, Martha Maria, and the tomb, which used to be like behind that place, to be one complex. Persians coming to the Holy Land, they destroyed it. The Crusaders coming, and you can see the columns, which was done by the Crusaders. This is a Crusader building. This is a Crusader building. This is a Crusader mosaic made by Crusader. And that gives us an idea how the Crusader moved all the stones, all the destruction, and they done a new building, also combined between the tomb and the house. 1187, the Muslims came and they make a lot of destruction. And until Antonio Barluzzi coming back here and he built this church. When you go inside the church, you can see it looks like a graveyard, and on the top it is all white alabaster because it is the resurrection. Okay? Like that dome. You see the dome over there, and around the dome we have all kind of the different figures like the new life, like a bird, flowers and other stuff. Inside the church we can see Jesus calling Lazarus, and the tomb is open and Lazarus coming out walking. Also on the up picture we can see Jesus will be anointing by the nard which you brought down, which was being made by olive oil and adding for it the nard or the frankincense or any other flowers. The mid-church was built here in the 50s by Barluzzi. But what is the problem now we have? You can see the sign sitting the tomb of Lazarus. Come, I want to show you something. Come here. Now if you look above us, you can see there's a big building. And this building is a mosque. You know what is the name of this mosque? They call it Al-Aziz.
Al-Aziz.
Al-Aziz in a way in Arabic means the good friend. And you know that Lazarus, he was the good friend of Jesus. Now what's happening when the Muslims came here and they built the mosque. Why? Because Umar, the first Caliph after Muhammad, who was like his daughter was the wife of Prophet Muhammad, when he came to the Holy Land in 639 and he went to Jerusalem, he made a siege around Jerusalem. And by that time, the Patriarch of Jerusalem, who was ruling the whole area, his name was Sophronius. You can read it. We have the story, right, about the siege of Jerusalem during Omar. The Christians, they were inside the walls of the city. The Muslims, they were out. As Sophronius, he called Omar and he told him, let's make a treaty. But the treaty will to make a good life for the Christians. And Omar, he promised him that we will give safe for the Muslims and for the Jew who live inside Jerusalem and outside Jerusalem if you open the door peacefully. As the Patriarch of Jerusalem, by Jaffa Gate, remember where we walked? He came outside and he opened the doors, and Omar, he went down from his horse and he was welcomed by the patriarch, and the patriarchs welcomed him, and they took him all the way to the most popular church by that time, and that's a church called the Church of the Calvary, where we have been, the Holy Sepulchre Church, where it was busy, remember? He brought him to that church, and when Omar came inside the church, and he get inside, and he was, introducing him, this is the tomb, that's the Calvary, that's that, okay? It was the time for the prayer for the Muslims, and Omar, he told him, since you are in a holy place, you can do your prayer in the church. Omar refused. He say, this is not our customs to do services in other holy places which is not belong to us. As he went outside of the church, he stepped outside, he knee down, he took a stone and he threw the stones. And wherever the stone fall down, that was the distance between the church and the mosque.
Sure.
And they built a mosque opposite to the church of the Holy Sepulchre, and this mosque up to our days it still exists, and we call it Omar Mosque. As wherever you find a church,
You find mosque.
you will find a mosque. Omar, he told them, for the Christian, he makes something called Omar Treaty, agreement. And this treaty, he say, all the mosques, all the churches, all the synagogues, you can Google it. Right, Omar Treaty or Omar Agreement with the Christians, read it in English. He said, all the nuns, all the priests, all the rabbis, all the churches, all the
the
mosques,
imams.
all them are saved in Islam time. But what I want to get over here, but when they came and they built the mosque, it was built exactly over the tomb. You understand? And now we could not go to dig down under the mosque because it's a mosque. But these people who lived here, they want to make their living. You understand? They want to make a living. If you go out, you can see shop from the up all the way to the down. What they done? Just exactly behind the mosque, like maybe another 50 meters up. You go up, you can look to that way. You can climb at least 40 steps just behind this mosque to get what is called the tomb of Lazarus, which is not the tomb of Lazarus. It is only steps which lead you down to a cave where they say it is a tomb of Lazarus. Me, I don't believe at all that it is tomb, because we know the history that this one and this one used to be together.
Yes.
That's me, this one.
And
But what